Today, we're diving deep into the top 4 most valuable Lincoln Wheat Pennies, exploring their values, their unique histories, and what makes these copper treasures so special. If you're a coin collector or just curious about what might be hiding in your piggy bank, this video is for you. First up, the 1909 Lincoln Wheat Penny holds a special place in American coinage history. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person, President Abraham Lincoln, on its obverse, marking a significant departure from the previous tradition of using symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. This 1-cent coin was released in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and replaced the Indian head cent, which had been minted from 1859 to 1909. Designed by Lithuanian-born sculptor Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln Wheat Penny was praised for its elegant and respectful portrayal of the 16th president. The obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Lincoln with the words, "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1909 on the right. Below the date, some coins bear a small S mint mark, indicating they were minted in San Francisco, while others have no mint mark, meaning they were produced in Philadelphia. The reverse side of the coin features 2 stylized wheat stalks flanking the denomination 1 cent, with the words United States of America between them. Above this central design is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This wheat ear design gave the coin its popular nickname, the Wheat Penny. However, what really makes the 1909 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out are its varieties. There are 4 major types of this coin, and they vary significantly in value based on rarity and demand. The most famous and valuable of these is the 1909 S VDB penny. This version includes the S mint mark for San Francisco and VDB, the initials of designer Victor David Brenner, prominently engraved at the bottom of the reverse between the wheat stalks. Only 484,000 of these coins were produced before the U.S. Mint, bowing to public criticism, ordered Brenner's initials to be removed. The initials were considered too large and overly prominent for a government-issued coin. As a result, the 1909 SVDB became one of the most sought-after key dates in all of U.S. numismatics. Next is the 1909 VDB penny, which was minted in Philadelphia and lacks the S mint mark, but still retains the VDB initials. This version is more common, with a mintage of around 27.7 million, but uncirculated specimens with original red luster can still command high prices among collectors. The third variety is the 1909 S, without the VDB initials. After public outcry, the Mint removed the initials and continued to produce the coin. The 1909 S, no VDB, has a mintage of 1,125,000 and is also considered scarce, though not as rare as the VDB counterpart. Finally, the most common version is the 1909, no mint mark, no VDB penny. This variety was produced in massive quantities, over 72 million, and is still relatively easy to find in circulated condition. However, pristine uncirculated examples are still valuable to collectors. As far as values go, they vary greatly based on the condition and the variety of the coin. The 1909 SVDB is by far the most valuable. In circulated condition, it typically sells for $700 to $1,200. In higher grades, such as Mint State, MS63 or higher, prices easily exceed $3,000 and can reach up to $12,000 or more for certified red uncirculated coins. The 1909 VDB from Philadelphia is more affordable, ranging from $10 to $50 in circulated condition and up to $400 or more in Mint State. The 1909 S without VDB is also quite collectible, often selling for $100 to $300 in worn condition and $800 to $2,000 in higher uncirculated grades. Meanwhile, the common 1909 with no mint mark and no VDB is typically worth between $3 and $10 in circulated condition, but uncirculated red examples can still bring $75 to $200 or more, depending on quality. The 1909 Lincoln Wheat Penny was a coin of firsts, the first to depict an actual American president, the first to mark the transition to a more modern, commemorative style in U.S. coinage, and the first to stir up public controversy over a designer's initials. Despite its humble face value of just 1 cent, this coin has become a treasured relic of numismatic history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, finding a 1909 wheat penny in your change or your grandparents' old collection is always a thrilling discovery. Its legacy, historical significance, and potential value make it one of the most iconic and enduring coins ever minted in the United States. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most common and widely collected coins from the early 20th century, but what makes it especially interesting is when it appears in pristine red uncirculated condition, a form that collectors refer to as a red wheat penny. This reddish tone isn't just about color. It reflects the original mint luster that has remained untouched by time, air, or human handling, preserving the copper's fresh appearance as it looked the day it left the mint. The year 1941 marked a turning point in world history as the United States was on the brink of entering World War II. Though the war effort would soon change the materials used in U.S. coinage, as seen in the steel pennies of 1943, the 1941 wheat penny was still struck in the traditional bronze alloy made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Over 887 million of these coins were minted in Philadelphia, with additional coins struck in Denver and San Francisco. Because of these massive mintages, the 1941 penny is not considered rare in general, but that changes entirely when we're talking about high-grade red specimens. When a Lincoln Wheat Penny is graded, one key factor is color. Over time, copper. Coins tend to darken or develop brown or red-brown tones due to oxidation. However, coins that have been stored extremely well and show no signs of tarnishing retain a bright original red color. These coins are labeled as red, RD, in professional grading terms, and they're far more desirable and valuable than their brown or red-brown counterparts. The obverse of the 1941 wheat penny features a familiar design, the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head is the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word liberty, and to the right, the date 1941. If there's no mint mark under the date, it means the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. A D represents Denver, and an S indicates San Francisco. The IB reverse displays two stylized wheat stalks, one on each side, curving inward toward the center where the words 1 cent and United States of America are boldly engraved. At the top is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This reverse design remained in place until 1958, after which it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse. As for value, most circulated 1941 wheat pennies are worth just a few cents to maybe $1 depending on condition. However, red uncirculated examples are another story entirely. These coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from MS-60 to MS-70, with the higher numbers indicating sharper detail, stronger strike, and fewer imperfections. A 1941 red wheat penny graded MS-65 by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC can fetch between $20 and $40, depending on eye appeal and market demand. In MS-66 red, the value jumps to about $70 to $100. MS-67 red examples are quite rare and can sell for $200 to $400 or more, particularly if they are certified by a top-tier grading company and exhibit flawless surfaces with blazing luster. It's also worth noting that 1941 wheat pennies struck at the San Francisco S and Denver D mints in red uncirculated condition can carry similar or even slightly higher values due to their smaller mintages relative to Philadelphia. For example, a 1941 S in MS-67 red can command $300 to $500 in some auctions, while top population specimens meaning those that are among the highest graded known, can reach into the thousands for serious collectors chasing registry sets. Another important detail is that the red color can sometimes be artificially enhanced by improper cleaning or storage. That's why professional grading is so important. Only certified red coins in sealed holders are considered truly investment grade, as they guarantee authenticity and natural color preservation. Next up, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny may look like just another copper coin at first glance, but it holds a unique place in the post-World War II story of American coinage. Produced 1 year after the end of World War II, the 1946 penny was part of a returning sense of economic normalcy. The United States Mint resumed using the traditional copper-based composition for 1-cent coins, ending the brief era of zinc-coated steel pennies that had been struck in 1943 to save copper for the war effort. The 1946 wheat penny was struck from an alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, and it featured the classic wheat ear reverse design that had been introduced in 1909. The obverse of the coin displays a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The inscriptions, "In God We Trust," appear above Lincoln's head. Liberty is placed to his left, and the date 1946 appears on the right. Depending on the mint location, you may find a small mint mark under the date. No mint mark for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. All three mints produced 1946 pennies, and all in large numbers. On the reverse of the coin, two stylized wheat stalks curve inward, surrounding the denomination 1 cent, and the words United States of America at the center. The Latin motto, E pluribus unum, runs along the top rim. This reverse design, often called the wheat back or wheat reverse, remained in use until 1958, after which the Lincoln Memorial replaced it. The total mintage of the 1946 penny across all three mints was extremely high, reflecting both the economic recovery after the war and the ongoing need for small denomination currency. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 991 million coins, the Denver Mint over 315 million, and the San Francisco Mint struck nearly 199 million. This means that the 1946 wheat penny is far from rare in circulated condition. In fact, it is one of the more common wheat pennies from the 1940s and is often found in bulk wheat cent rolls, old jars, or beginner collector albums. Because of its high mintage and availability, most 1946 Lincoln wheat pennies in circulated condition have modest values. A typical worn 1946 penny from any mint is worth around 3 to 10 cents, depending on the coin's eye appeal and wear. However, uncirculated examples, especially those with bright original red luster, are more desirable. In the coin collecting world, uncirculated pennies are graded on the Sheldon scale, with MS-60 to MS-70 representing mint state grades. The higher the number, the better the coin's condition. A 1946 wheat penny with a red color designation in Mint State 65 can sell for around $10 to $25. In MS-66 condition, values rise to $35 or even $60 depending on the coin's strike quality, color, and whether it's certified by a professional grading service. Coins graded MS-67 red are rare and can reach values between $150 and $300 or more, particularly if they have strong eye appeal and come from the San Francisco or Denver mints, which tend to have fewer high-grade survivors. Top-tier, registry quality examples with perfect or near-perfect grades can occasionally reach auction prices of $500 or higher. Although the 1946 penny is not known for any major mint errors or rare varieties, collectors should still watch for minor doubling, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks, which can increase a coin's value to error collectors. One known collectible variation is the RPM, repunched mint mark, especially with Denver and San Francisco issues. These varieties may not be worth thousands of dollars, but can sell for $10 to $50 depending on condition and demand. It's also important to understand the significance of the red, red-brown, and brown color designations when evaluating 1946 wheat pennies. Copper coins change color over time, and coins that retain their bright original copper red color are classified as red. These are more valuable than red-brown or brown examples. Collectors often go out of their way to acquire red coins in high grades, making color and luster key value indicators for the 1946 penny. Next up, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most talked about and fascinating coins in American numismatics. Not only is it a well-known collectible for its classic design and historical context, but it also gained legendary status because of a striking mint error that turned it into one of the most famous and valuable pennies in U.S. history, the 1955 double-die obverse. However, even the regular 1955 pennies have their own story and importance within the broader wheat cent series, which spanned from 1909 to 1958. To begin with, the 1955 penny was struck at two U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, which issued coins without a mint mark, and Denver, which used a D mint mark placed just below the date. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 330 million 1955 pennies, while the Denver Mint struck over 563 million coins. With such high mintages, the regular versions of this coin are common in circulation, though their value can increase dramatically when found in pristine, uncirculated condition or with unique error characteristics. The coin's obverse, or front, features the right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln, the same design introduced in 1909 by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word "Liberty," and to the right is the date, 1955. The reverse side displays two stylized wheat stalks on each side of the coin, enclosing the denomination 1 cent and United States of America. At the top of the reverse, the motto "A pluribus unum" is arched between the tips of the wheat. In circulated condition, the regular 1955 wheat penny from Philadelphia or Denver is typically worth between 3 to 10 cents. If the coin is in better shape, showing only minimal wear and some original luster, its value can rise to $1 to $2. Uncirculated examples with a rich red tone, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can sell for $15 to $50 or more. Coins with exceptional strike and full mint luster, particularly those graded MS-66 or MS-67 by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, may fetch between $100 and $500. But the real excitement surrounding the 1955 penny comes from the 1955 doubled-die obverse variety, a mint error that occurred during the striking process when the coin die received a doubled impression. As a result, all the letters on the obverse, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1955, appear clearly doubled. This is not a slight blur or minor doubling visible under magnification. It's a bold, dramatic doubling that can be seen with the naked eye. Only around 20,000 to 24,000 of these error coins were released, most likely during a single night shift at the Philadelphia Mint. They were mistakenly mixed with regular pennies and shipped out before the error was caught. Most of them entered circulation and were discovered in pocket change, cigarette machines, and coin rolls. Today, the 1955 double-die obverse penny is one of the most popular and desirable error coins ever struck in the United States. The value of the 1955 double-die obverse penny varies significantly based on its condition. A well-circulated example can sell for $800 to $1,500, depending on how much of the detail remains. Higher-grade examples, those in uncirculated red mint state condition, can command prices ranging from $5,000 to over $15,000. the finest. Known specimens in superb condition with full red color and virtually flawless surfaces have sold at auction for $30,000 or more. Because of the popularity and high value of this variety, counterfeiters have attempted to replicate the doubled design, and many poor-quality imitations exist. Some are made by altering regular 1955 pennies or applying machine doubling effects. For this reason, serious collectors are strongly advised to only buy authenticated graded examples from trusted coin dealers or auction houses. In addition to the famous doubled die, there are minor varieties from 1955 worth noting. These include repunched mint marks on some Denver Mint coins, where the D was punched more than once in slightly different positions. While not nearly as valuable as the doubled die, repunched mint mark varieties can still be worth $5 to $50 in the right condition, especially when certified.